Welcome to another edition of the Florida Chamber's Bottom Line with our guests, David Hart, Executive Vice President of the Florida Chamber, and our special guest, Chief Financial Officer Jeff Atwater. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. CFO Atwater, you have taken the lead on personal injury protection reforms. Why is that so important in the state?
It's a cost driver. This is money that's coming out of the pockets of small business owners and consumers all across Florida. That is an expense that is far more a cost driver than the value of the product is worth. And it's a mandated coverage. And so Governor Scott, the Chamber, legislative leaders have really taken ownership to say, we are going to root out this cost. We're going to get it back to creating a policy that product that's mandated by government will be at a cost that you can afford. And we're going to get the fraud out of it. We're going to get the legal costs out of it so that it's, again, a manageable cost for the household and the small business owner. And we can get the fraud out of the system.
David, from the Chamber's perspective, I mean, businesses and consumers across the state are just being hit by the fraud numbers, and the numbers are huge.
Well, they sure are. We believe the number is somewhere between $900 and $1 billion of fraud per year. So when you look at those cost drivers of staged accidents, fraudulent medical claims, and attorney's fees, it's really on the backs of the honest drivers and the honest businesses in Florida.
CFO Atwater, how do you crack down on the fraud, though? I know that you have fraud divisions now. And did we always have PIP fraud divisions at your agency?
We've had it for a long time, regrettably, but we are focusing on it because, again, it's now so rampant. And as David mentioned, the honest person's the one getting hurt. So we had a great year this past year. In 2011, we arrested almost 400 individuals perpetrating that type of fraud, had almost 300 new arrests. But the key is going to have to be, how do you cut it off before we get to our stage? I don't mind more investigators, and I don't mind the stiffer penalties, but we have to really do something systemic. Who is utilizing it? Where are they utilizing this? What are the legal fees involved in all this? We have to go after the policy change. I'll be happy to continue to arrest people, and I'll do that gladly. But I want to see us go after the root of the problem.
And David, the Chamber's focused on the policy change.
Well, we are, but we owe a great debt of gratitude to CFO Atwater and to the governor for their leadership on the policy change. They're the ones who shined the bright light on this and said, that can't stand anymore. We're going to fix that. We're going to make it right. And so, CFO, we appreciate you both for the crackdown and the arrest of fraud, but also for leading the policy debate to get us there.
What are some of the fixes you'd like to see?
Sure. I think when you look at this, the key that I think David's been touching on, we've actually had a reduction in number of accidents. So when he talks about this fraud number being $1 billion, well, that's because how could premiums go up $1 billion across all Floridians, now picking up that tab, when actually there's fewer accidents? So you go after, well, where are they going for the types of care? Who are the gatekeepers in these lawyer referral services that are out there? What are the clinics really billing for? Is it a real medical need, or is it a manufactured? All of these things we can go after with, where are you going for the coverage? You know, who is the gatekeeper? Shouldn't it be a hospital or an MD or a DO or a dentist that sees you first, can diagnose the challenges? So I want to see policy changes. Who's going to provide the services? I want to see policy changes on what is going to be the legal scheme that people can continue to play the system. And I'm happy with where the Senate is going on some of the fraud things. I'll take more resources, but please fix the utilization.
Isn't this also a safety issue? I mean, with all the motorists on the roadways.
Yeah, it is. And that's where, when we went around the state, chamber members, the governor, Rick Scott, and we sat with small business owners, we sat with Florida consumers, and they said, I'm afraid to get in my car and go out and drive the streets that someone's going to create a staged accident with me being a victim. Or small business owners saying, we can't put these cars on the road any longer. We'd like another truck. We'd like one more service person on the road, but we can't do it at these costs.
I would just offer a comment sort of on the status report, if you will, of where we are at week 4 of session. There's a very strong bill in the House moving, thanks to Representative Boyd. We just this afternoon left a committee meeting in the Senate where Senator Negron's bill moved. They're still pretty far apart. Chairman Richter's trying to bring the two together, but I wouldn't be surprised if we actually didn't see a conference on this issue alone. It's become that important.
Right.
That's interesting. We'll continue to look to both of you for updates. And with that, thank you for joining us on the program. And to you, our viewers, thank you for watching, and we hope your bottom line is looking up.